Hi Flosstube, Elena here, the Stitching Farmer. Thank you for joining me today. I just recently posted my, well, about a month ago now, my whip parade video, so I hope everyone enjoyed that. Always enjoy making that. Letting everyone, remembering all the projects I've been working on and how I need to get back to those projects. So I hope everyone enjoyed seeing that. Always enjoy reading everyone's comments. If you ever have any questions, always try to answer those too. So for 2023, I decided that I was going to have no new starts. So far, I have been successful, except for I did have 2 planned starts already. The Modern Folk 2023 Modern Folk embroidery piece. So I did start that finally. I was planning on starting it back in December when the pattern got released, but my fabric was late in getting here. So I finally got that about a week ago, so I got to start that. And then I also had a restart for my September Sapphire Fairy. So I did start those 2 new ones this month, so I guess I kind of sort of succeeded, but sort of didn't. But those are the only new starts I'm going to have this year, unless I finish something. If I finish something, I will allow myself to start something. So this here is a Dimensions piece. I finished it before my first child was born, so it would have been back in 2012. This is Teddy Bear Gathering. It is pretty much a full coverage piece. There is a little spots that are open here and here. There's a little bit of, I'm like so afraid it's going to try not to make any sudden movements. I'm afraid it might fall. But I thought about having it reframed to put in my daughter's room. But in the end, I just decided to leave it as it was. So I bought that piece and Row of Love too. It's another, it looks more girly though, but it's a teddy bear piece too. And I was gonna make that for when I had a daughter, hopefully. So after my second son was born, I sold it. And then surprise, we got pregnant with our 3rd child, who ended up being a girl. But yeah, I did rebuy it, but in the end, I just didn't feel like stitching it. So instead, been working on a Chatelaine for her to go in her room. And I did stitch her the Mirabilia V. Her name's Vivian. I did finish it. I still need to frame it though. I thought about trying to frame it myself. Gotta look into that more about how to block the cross stitch piece, and then I want to what's it called, lace. I want to lace the back of it. So I just haven't had time yet. I need to measure it, and I know there's a lot of framing. Does anybody have any places that you like to go to for online framing? I found a few. I think I either want to do a white or silver frame for that piece. We'll go grab it. All right, so I was able to locate that piece. So this is, it's obviously not iron, but this is the V I did for her. It was quite a quick stitch. These are some bigger beads here. I think it took me like less than a month to do. So I was thinking about either white or silver to frame it with. There is, you can't really tell, but the beads do stick out a bit. I've heard you have to put like little pieces to keep them from touching the glass, which I may not. If I do it myself, I might just not put glass on it. I don't know. I thought that this one had used, I'm pretty sure this is the museum glass, but you can still see a glare on it. Not as bad probably if it wasn't, but you can definitely still see a glare. So that was the one that I did for her. That still needs framing. I forgot I'm doing 2 pieces for her. So she was born in September. So I'm also, this was my restart. September Sapphire Fairy. And I am doing a stitch along for it. Like drawing a blank on what that. Hold on just a second. So I am going to do a stitch along. It's one to just, start whenever you want to. There's no hurry. What was it that sorry, bear with me. Husband's just texting me to let me know he's leaving for work. Okay, so if you want to stitch along, it's hashtag September Sapphire Sal, S-A-L. And I'll link that down below too. I'm going to say a funny story of the hashtag. So I'm a pharmacist, and we hired two 17-year-old technicians. And the one technician was like, does this say hashtag 30? Like for the quantity on the script, I was like, yes, it says number 30 because it's a number sign. But of course, the teenagers today think it is hashtag and they don't know it as anything else. So I want to show you my original. This is the fabric I was originally. Beautiful piece of fabric. I love the piece of fabric. I think I'm holding it upside down here. But it was just, oh, and it's backwards. It's a opalescent, which I've never really stitched on before. It seems like I have stitched one, but the fabric is just, I just don't like it at all. The opalescent gives me a bit of a headache with all the flights, but the weave just, to me, isn't very good quality. And I believe this is it's a Skyward fabric. It's got the orange, but I did not enjoy stitching on this at all. And I wasn't making any progress on it because I don't know if you can like look closely, but it's hard to tell. I just wasn't enjoying it. So I restarted it. This is on, I know the fabric it's a 32 count, drawing a blank on the fabric designer. It starts with a G. It's similar to, I think it's Garibaldi because it's similar to that chocolate, that really good chocolate. And it's called Wisteria something, but I'll link it below. But you can barely see my start. It's a very pale green that's on there so far, but I am so much happier. And when I started it, so when you stitch on linen, you're supposed to start next to, they say start next to a pole, so the one going up, and I didn't, and I was like, oh, my stitches just aren't looking very good. And so I looked and I hadn't started it that way, so I ripped it out and redid it. My stitches are laying much nicer. I don't know why it makes a difference, but it really does seem to. So I'm much happier with my restart. Hopefully I'll make better progress. It's very hard to see right now, but there's a lot of darker colors, so I'm hoping that will pop better. Like right now I'm just doing, I did a middle start, so right now I'm in the middle of the dress right here. But this dark blue and the wings and hair, I think they'll all show up pretty good on this fabric. You just can't see my little tiny start there at all, hardly. So that is September Sapphire Fairy. There's no, if you want to join in on the stitch along, there's no deadlines. Just start whenever, jump in. I'd love to see everyone's progress on it. So then I also want to talk about the modern folk embroidery. Let me pull it up real fast here. I thought I had it up, but I don't seem to. So this is the stitch along for 2023. I did complete the one for 2021. I didn't do last year's. Oh, it just wasn't my cup of tea, but I really like this one. So this is what the finished design looks like. So the way he's doing this stitch along is he's broke it up in 12 parts, just going straight across like that. So that means there's not going to be a whole lot of stitching up top, but once you get down here, there's going to be quite a bit. So instead of just stitching the way he has it broken up, I'm just going to stitch 1/12 of it. So I have it on Pattern Keeper. So I'm going to stitch 8.33% every month is my goal. So I haven't made it there yet since I just started this. I think, let's see, when did I start this? The fabric came on last Friday. So I started last Friday. I've worked on a few pieces in between. So the the suggested colors for this piece were 924 and 3045. So I thought that trying to look for a better background, something to use. Oh well, I can't really find anything. Oh, here, I'll try this. So I thought that this one was a little too dark. I didn't really like that one as much. So I decided instead to do, where's the kind of full skein, to do 612 instead. So those are the colors I've decided on. I just like it better. I wanted to have more of that stone color like it does on the, more gray to it, like it does on this picture here. And I just thought that one was too gold, the suggested color. So my progress so far. So I've gotten a good bit of this border done. So I'm trying just to, I don't want to move my Q snap. That's my goal, not to move my Q snap more than once a month. So yesterday I was stitching on this and I started the deer at the top. So I counted over from these. It turns out that I was off by 2 crosses. So I thought about just leaving it, but in the end I ripped it all out. So I'm redoing the deer again. So I've gotten his bottom half. I'll probably go start stitching on this afternoon and finish stitching up the rest of the deer. Some more of this. I think currently I'm at 6%. So there's still some stuff over here. So hopefully that will be enough that I don't have to move my Q snap. I'll probably stitch some more in here too. But I really love stitching on these modern folk embroidery pieces. It's a lot of fun. I like only having 2 colors, so you don't constantly have to change out your color. So, and I got my cute little, I live in Florida, so I love having all these little starfish needle minders, and I have some sand dollars, and I need some more mermaids. I need more to add to my collection. All right, so that is, what is this piece called? Reaching Skyward, I believe is what the name of the 2023 stitch along is. Yes. Okay, so on to the next project. I worked some on, I've really been enjoying, look at this cute basket I got at Target. How cute. It's big too, lots of room in there, lots of projects. So I'm thinking about, the only thing is, I don't know how durable it is. It does seem a little, it could be a little flimsy, but it's super cute. So I picked that up at Target when I was there a couple weeks ago. So this is English Garden by Samplers Not Forgotten. I have like 5 or 6 focus pieces that I'm really trying to put a lot of stitching in this year, and this is one of them. So I am about halfway done with the second page. The alphabet is really stitching up quickly. The alphabets are not one of my favorite things to stitch, I will admit. But I did really like this piece. I thought I liked how it's in cursive. So I'm about right there. So it's almost time to start stitching this bird here. I really like doing the geometric patterns and shapes. The flowers, haven't really been enjoying that part, stitching that so much. But I've been pushing through it. I don't think I'm going to enjoy, maybe I will, but I don't know if I'm going to enjoy stitching this part too much either. But I love this border. Let me show it on the, oh, it's covered up. Let me pull it off real quick. I really love the border though. That has been a lot of fun to stitch. So look at that. I love it. And then you can see the flowers. First I went side to side, and then I decided to go around. This one looks much better. I don't think I'm going to take this out though, just because I haven't really enjoyed stitching those flowers very much, so I'm just going to leave it. Luckily it's the top one, so maybe it won't be so noticeable. I don't know, maybe I should take it out. I'll think about it. So that is English Garden, and it is stitched on, I know it's a Seraphim fabric and it's 40 count. I think it's called Jack Frost linen. I love this fabric, it's so soft. All right. I'm trying to keep up. I got the 2023. I do a terrible job at keeping up with, like, I only made it to the 11th. I need to go back in and fill. I kind of remember what I've stitched. So apparently it took me, let's see, it only took me 3 days to finish up another year crease by. So every month I'm doing a block on that. Let me find it here. So this is January's block. Let me unsnap my cue snap here. Some of these are really tight. So now I got the first row done. So I think once I start doing these middle two, I won't have to stitch so much of the border because you're already gonna have the top and then one of the sides done. So maybe I'll go a little bit quicker. At first I really liked doing the border, but now I'm finding it tedious. And where is, trying to find the cover piece to show you guys, but here it is. Sorry about all the zips. So it's Ink Circles, Another Year Creeps By. It's a 40 count Seraphim fabric also. This one is called Finnian is the name of it. Seems like a lot of times she writes the name of it on there. I think this fabric is perfect for this piece. And I'm stitching it 1/2, which is the one thing I really like about 40 count fabric, is that you only have to stitch with 1 strand of floss. I know for 36 count a lot of people will stitch with 1 strand of floss, but I like my coverage a little bit heavier, so I usually stitch it with 2 strands, anything 36 or up, or 36 or lower, I should say. Sorry, thinking about that backwards. All right, so next up, I'm going to show, this is my daughter's stocking. My other kids, they already had their stockings done by their age. She's 2, so both my boys already had their stockings done. I have been having a really hard time motivating myself to work on this stocking. I think it's because it's my 5th one I've done. I'm just kind of like over the stockings at this point. I still enjoy stitching dimensions kits. I feel like a lot of people, your taste have evolved, a lot of people's taste evolve, and they no longer stitch I feel like everyone learns on dimensions kits, but then they tend to get away from them. But I still do enjoy stitching dimensions. Most of them are pretty full coverage. This one is, I think there are some open spaces like in here. This part is open. I don't know if I'm gonna leave it unstitched though. I haven't decided yet. We'll see. So it is, so I did put in some time with this piece. I am working on Santa's jacket right now, so all the red you see is new. I love the snowman. He's so cute. And he stitched up fairly quickly. One thing about dimensions is they do use a lot of half stitches, and most of the snowman here is half stitches, except for his scarf wasn't and the hat wasn't. But so far Santa has been all full cross stitches. So I believe like most of the sky and the trees are up here, those are all going to be half stitches. So that'll probably stitch up fairly quickly. And then a lot of the snow, down here at the bottom is probably going to be half stitches too. I'm sure the bag is full crosses. My goal is to finish it by the end of the year, so hopefully that happens. I did email dimensions, so I prefer to stitch on my iPad instead of stitching on paper patterns. So I was able to email dimensions and they sent me out the PDF. I just have to show them that I have the kit, I bought it, and then they sent me out the pattern for it. Oh, and this is kit fabric. I believe it's Aida. I forget which. It's either 18 or 16. I know it's on here somewhere. 18 counts. So this is pretty heavily stitched for this dimensions kit. Another Christmas one that I have worked on, not a whole lot, but I did work on this a little bit. So this one is Santa Stops Here. I've seen a lot of people working on this one. It's been a lot of fun. I really enjoyed working on the house. I am stitching this. This is 36 count. I'm doing 2 over 2. I decided to, it calls for doing 1 over 2. And I realized I'm going to have to buy some more floss. I don't have enough of this. I believe it's called charcoal. This fabric smells. It's an R&R fabric. So it's got that coffee smell. It smells good. I believe it's the charcoal I'm missing. Yes. And I'm probably going to have to buy some more of the white too. I like the doors. You can see up close there. See how they're little satin stitches? So that was fun to do. There's going to be some beads in here. Pretty sure I have the beads here. Yes, I did order them from Amazon. I try not to shop on Amazon that much, but I find myself ordering a lot from them. So they're like a pale yellow cream color. So that will look pretty with that. And then it needs, I haven't bought the red ribbon yet, but somehow I got to attempt to make it a bow to put on there. Yeah, I don't know how well that's going to turn out, because it does have a ribbon right here. So I've still got to do, I finished almost the border. I still have, you see here, let me see. This cat reminds me of Chloe, which I'm surprised she hasn't come to say hello yet. But you can see the little leaves here. I haven't done that all the way around yet. I've only done this little part. So I still have to do that part. The rest of the roof, I'm still working on building my roof here. And then everything over here. So I'm sure I should be able to get this done by next Christmas. I just gotta sit down and work on it. Another thing, I really need to stop doing, I did a center start. Look at all this extra fabric I have. If I would have started like in the corner, I probably would have enough to do more stuff with it. So I probably should stop doing center starts, but it's kind of like my comfort zone, what I've always done and what I know. But I've started trying to like just measure out and start 3 or 4 inches from the side. Let's see. I can't remember if I've worked on this piece or not since my whip parade. But it is a Owl Forest embroidery piece. I'm not sure. I have this new thing, AirPod, and it keeps connecting to different devices, so I'm hoping it's still on my phone here. Oh geez. So this is called Everflowering Garden by Owl Forest Embroidery. I was lucky enough to get the called for the threads before the shutdown. This fabric is huge. Look at how big it is. This is a big piece. So I'm almost completely done. I was hoping to finish this whole top row by the end of the year. Still have a little bit left, so hopefully I'll get to it by the end of the month. Today is January the 26th, so not sure. I gotta work this weekend. I work every other weekend. And you know what? I just realized that I am showing this backwards. So this is actually what I should have been showing you guys. So I've still got that little bit of the border left, and then I'll be done with this whole top row. My goal is to finish one row every year. So there's basically kind of like 5 rows. I kind of consider it. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, maybe 6. I don't know. But I'm hoping to do one a year at least. We'll say 5. So 1, 2, somewhere around 5. So hopefully I can complete this next. I think each one is 4 pages across. And I want to say it is 5 pages down, maybe 5.5. And this is 36 count. I do regret, I wish I would have done this on 40 count because I like using one strand of floss. But this is 36. I am doing 2/2, and it is a variegated thread. Let's see if I can find the threads that go with this piece. It's very new. I don't know why not have it here. Oh, found it. So this is my bag of threads here. Look at how neat they bundle these threads. They have a good bit of variegation in them. So cute. They're a little owl there. Here's you can see it part pretty good with the red here. Maybe not. Orange. So I think it makes the piece more interesting having that variegation in there than the active ones I have on a floss ring. So that is Everflowering Garden. All right, I have got one more, my Chatelaine. Let me find it here. I am currently doing Fairy Flower Garden Mandala by Chatelaine. This is going to be for my daughter's room. My goal is to finish it by the time she turns 5. So these are, you work on these for a really long time. So I always keep this one covered up with a pillowcase to help keep it clean. This is where I currently am. So this month, let me get up close here. I have done this delicate flower garden here. It takes a lot of focus to, oh, there's a lot more detail on this, the corner ones. It takes a lot of detail or focus to work on this. You have to constantly be counting and moving and really paying attention to where you are. It's not like you can just make X's in a straight line. Like this part, you know, it didn't take a lot of thought. Also did this little part here, fill that in. So then my goal is to start working outward. And there's dragonflies over here, so I'll do that. Then I'll probably move down and do those 2 fairies, and then the middle of the dragonflies there, and then go back up. And then after all that, I will bead it. So I filled in pretty much all the specialty stitches now. Where I've gotten to so far, I did all these. There's a lot of gold in here. Maybe a little hard to see these little stars or gold. But I love the way it's turning out. I love those. It was kind of fun to stitch, even though it took a lot of focus. I had to be in the mood for it. I've been trying, so I work every other weekend. So I'm always off one weekday. Like today's a Thursday, so I'm home alone, no one's here. So I always try to work on this piece. That way I can pull everything out. Have the whole morning to myself. My husband usually he'll pick up our daughter on the way home. And so they usually get here around 2 or 2:30. And then my boys get home at 2:45. So I get like a whole morning and mid-afternoon to just do nothing but stitch. Sometimes I'll do some housework, but usually I just stitch. And one way to get, this is the almanac frame again. So one way to get really good tension is to use these side clips. And I find that gives me great tension. So I think I've covered everything that I've worked on for the month. Let me find my book here that I forget to write down in every day. Make sure I didn't miss anything that I did write down. Yeah, so I got it all. So I was going to share a little haul. I got a lot of money for Christmas and birthday, so I did kind of overindulge a little bit. I got about 5 kits, I think. So I've been trying to start collecting these Janlin kits. I'm trying to get all 4 seasons. So this one is autumn. And it's a kit. I think I'm probably going to swap out this fabric. And then I've also got spring. Seems like the winter is the hardest one to get. But look at the fabric colors. They don't look like the same color to me. This one spring looks lighter than the fall. So I picked out, this is a 32 count Ivory Jobelin. So I was thinking about swapping it out to this. I think it would look good on that. But this is for the future me, not for today me. So I'm still contemplating. And this is, I've seen a lot of people stitch this. It is gorgeous. This is English Cottage Sampler. This is a Teresa Winsler, I believe. Well, it says it was designed by Just Cross Stitch. So I guess it's not Teresa Winsler. I don't know why I thought that. That border looks intense, but it is beautiful. But wow, that's a border right there. I know I've seen Lisa the Kindred Stitcher stitch this one, and Brenda from Handwork Maniac. I think I got her name right. I love their channels. And another Janlin kit is this Santa piece. This is Santa's Wish List. I've seen a few people stitch this one too. It's beautiful. But I'm not sure about the fabric though. I'm not crazy. Aida, there's nothing wrong with Aida. It's just, I prefer to stitch on linen. Starting out, that's all I stitched on. I remember my first experience with linen. I was in college and oh, my tension was horrible. Sometimes I still find it's a little hard not to make those holes too big. You tend to open them up a little bit more than I like. So, what else was I going to share? Oh, I also got dimensions Luda from Cross Stitch with Luda has stitched this. It is gorgeous. I love all the, that's one thing about Dimensions kits I like is their use of color. And also like how they do have cross stitches. It always makes it look real unique. Have a lot of dimension. Something odd about Dimensions, so they released. So if you follow Dimensions at all, there's the Ruth Sanderson fairies. So there's like a fall fairy. There's they call it Winter Woodland Enchantress, and then there's the Spring Fairy. So they've released the Summer Fairy, but you can only find it, I've only been able to find it so far on eBay. So I don't know why they don't have it on the Simplicity website, but I plan on buying that whenever they finally get it on there. So it's kind of pricey on eBay still. And there's another one with the stork on it too that I really want. So it's just kind of odd. I don't know if it's because like a pandemic thing where they just aren't able to ramp up production. Maybe that's why. I don't know. It's kind of odd though. Another acquisition. I got this one. This is Portrait Queen. I tend to buy the new releases every month in the bead pack. I've stopped buying the specialty threads because I don't know when or if, but I really like these bead packs. They're very convenient. I bought a lot of Plum Street samplers, so I'll go through these real fast. I got all the new releases. I showed it's called Happy Morning or This Morning, but I left it in the other room. So this is another one of the newest releases, My Heart's Welcome. This is Christmas Mini Moon. I really like this one. I want to stitch this one up. Yuletide Delivery. I believe that is a Miss Claus up there, but look at that deer. Might be hard to see because she's on white, but I love her. I want to stitch her so much. I thought about stitching her on blue, but then I noticed this sign here, and it may not be very visible if I stitch her on blue. I thought about changing out the color. I don't know, but I just really wanted that deer to stand out more, but we'll see. No new starts, so I can't start it anytime soon anyway. This is Jack's Bash. I love this one. It's a great Halloween piece. It's a big one though. Turkey Bay. This is Grace Doth Abound. I'm trying to collect all these samplers like this. I think there's 3 of them. So this one is the Heritage Sampler. I'm not exactly sure what it represents. I guess maybe the Mayflower coming. This is Liberty Lodge. This is Liberty's Welcome. There are 3 of these. There's the Liberty's Welcome, for like the 4th of July Independence Day stitch. There's, here's the Yuletide Welcome. This is the Christmas one. And then there's also, I don't have it with me, but I do have it, the Yuletide Welcome. I think out of all 3 of them, I want to stitch Yuletide Welcome the most because I like Halloween. This is a new constellation. I guess they're just US patterns representing the US, I think. So that is all for the Plum Street samplers. I'm a big fan of Plum Street samplers. Always buy her new releases whenever they come out. This one is the Blue Flower, Night Walk Down. seen a lot of people stitch this. It's very pretty. I like it. I really like her design style. I like watching her on Flosstube too. Janine McGowan. She always has interesting things to say. I got some Just Nans. I believe these are, well, I believe this one's, I can't remember if it's a re-release or not, but this is Icy Hill. I like these band style samplers. They're a lot of fun. I haven't stitched one yet. I've only stitched a couple Just Nans. I've stitched one of the scissor rolls and a mouse and one of the cubes. But I would like to stitch some more. I think these would stitch up fairly quickly. I always think that though, and then they don't. This is October Eves. This one I don't think there'd be a whole lot to. I think that would stitch up. It does have a good sized border though on it. I love Halloween. It's probably, I don't know, Halloween or Christmas. It's like a toss up between the two seasons because I love fall and I love Christmas too. So I don't know which one is my favorite, but this one I got off of eBay. This is Patchwork Santa. I really like Patchwork Santa. The only thing about, you know, Christmas is like, it's a lot of stitching and then you only get it up there for like a month. You could probably get by with 2 if you did like right after Halloween. But you could start decorating for Halloween maybe September too. So this one is an oldie. This is a Midsummer Night's Fairy. I started this many moons ago, probably like 20 years ago. But it was my first time, I guess it was my second time ever stitching a linen. It wasn't looking good. I wasn't enjoying it. I would really like to try to stitch all the Shakespeare's fairies. This one, the Titania fairy. And she also has the little Shakespeare's fairies too. So I think they would all look good together. But I really got bogged down on stitching the log she's sitting on there. So I will have to try again maybe someday soon. This is Nevermore. I fell in love with this. That reminds me, have you guys seen the new Netflix movie? It's called A Pale Blue Eye. It has, oh, what's his name? Christian Bale, Batman. I couldn't think of it. But Edgar Allan Poe is one of the characters in it. I thought it was pretty good. I liked it. I enjoyed it. Another one really good that I saw recently on Netflix was the Knives Out Glass Onion. That was good too. What's his name? The James Bond guy. I'm so bad with names. I can see his face, but he does such a good job on that role as the Southern gentleman detective. I love his character. So I like this piece. Once I finish one of my other pieces, I may start it. I really like all the borders here. I remember having to memorize part of The Raven in high school. I think I probably still remember the first 2 or 3 stanzas of it. So this is letter E. At first I didn't really care for my initial, but now I think it's probably one of the prettiest ones out of all of them. I've seen a few people stitch this one, so hopefully I will have this hanging in, I'll probably put it in my bedroom. So then me and my daughter can both have ours. This one is gorgeous. I love this. This is a hello from Liz Matthews. It's Autumn Cloche. Such an interesting design style. Love the way like the pumpkins are shaped and these leaves hanging down. I wonder if she'll do the other seasons as well. Really like her designs too. This one is a Jeanette Douglas. I'm probably gonna butcher the name of it. Holland's Merklap. I'm gonna go with. Love this. Love that peacock. I like the alphabet. It's not your typical alphabet style. I love the border. So much interesting stuff to look at in this one. You know, you got this tree here and a house and people. Very cool. Another one is another Jeanette Douglas, is Matter in Hand. So this has a bunch of cross stitch elements, and I believe these are how you say cross stitch in other languages. So you got like your DMC skein, some scissors, a pin cushion, just all kinds of interesting things. This one looks like a lot of fun. I know I've seen this one a lot on Flosstube. I finally bought it though. This is Teresa Kogut, Hello Halloween. It's got several Halloween patterns in it. Like these witches. I love these cats. They're a lot of fun. I have a black cat, so I'm partial to black cats. I mean, honestly, try not to show the pattern. Honestly though, if I was going to stitch anything out of this book, it would be the cover pattern. There's just so much going on. It looks like a lot of fun to stitch. I like to stitch big pieces. That's probably why I never finish anything, but I just love big pieces. There's so much stuff to look at and do. Oh, I guess I did have some more Plum Streets. Penny Autumn. I love that border. The only thing is picking out a color for fabric for this one. She got the white house, and you got some yellow, and then you got the darker colors. So trying to pick out a color where all that stuff will stand out might be a little tricky. I'm not sure. The call for is Wren by Picture This Plus. I have a hard time, so I don't have an LNS, so it's really hard for me to get a hold of these fabrics because I feel like as soon as places get them, it's like they're sold out. I love this stocking. I think I've said that about every pattern I've shown you. Olga's Autumn Stocking, and then she's also got the tart to go with it. The stocking is so cute. So much interesting. I love the patchwork pumpkin, the zigzag, the house with the tree, and then of course the black cat. So we've been trying to adopt another cat, and it's been we haven't had any success. So I sent my husband to the shelter to go get a particular cat. So he goes, and they're shut down because of COVID outbreak. But then it turns out that the kitten's not available because the poor thing was hit by a car, and now she's having to have her leg amputated. So I think she did get it. It looked like she got adopted out though. I mean, I would have still taken her, but she was under vet care at the time. And then my coworker had 2 kittens and was wanting to find them homes. I was like, oh yes, I'm definitely. But then she said that she wanted them to go to a home together. So I was like, I can only have one more cat. So that was a bust. And then there was another cat at the shelter, and I emailed them, I called them, and no one returned my call. I know the cat's in foster care. So I don't know. It's kitten season's right around the corner. It's almost spring. So maybe we'll just go, the whole family just go and pick out a cat during the springtime. Or a kitten. I think we want a kitten. I mean, I'm fine with getting a cat too. My cat now was not a kitten when we adopted her, and I love her. So these are all blackbird. I think these are all blackbirds here. So I got Deck the Halls. I think this book is all of those little strawberries there. Yes. Yeah, I think so. Super cute. This is 'Tis Halloween, and these are all stockings, like little bitty stockings. I was watching Brenda and the Serial Starter, like their early videos, And I fell in love with these. She had stitched so many of them, and she had them all on like a little ring, and they just all looked amazing. So I believe there are 13 stockings and projects to stitch. How cute is that little pumpkin guy? So cute. Oh, this one looks fun. Reminds me of a quilt. I need to get back to quilting too. Sorry, I'm a southerner. I haven't been doing much of that lately. I've been so busy with work. Work takes up too much of my time. Look at those candy corns. I don't like candy corn, but I love that stocking. I'm more of a chocolate gal. This one, I'm not exactly sure. It's called Deadly Nightshade. I'm guessing it must look like the plant. One of my goals is to someday go to England and go to the Poison Garden. I'm drawing a blank on what the name is, but it looks amazing. I also want to stitch that Chatelaine too. I have the kit for it. One day I'll stitch it, hopefully. Let's see. So many fun little projects. I'm not sure. I think I would like to stitch them all on the same fabric, Witch Hazel. I'm not sure what fabric to pick out. I think this one's my favorite, Trick or Treat. Oh, look at that pumpkin. How adorable. I love stitching those star designs. And then Haunted House. So many fun patterns in that one. Okay, so this is Flea Market Souvenir. These are, I think these are all gonna be blackbirds. I haven't looked through the stack, but this one is stitched using different fabrics and then stitched together with these interesting stitches here. I like the look of it. It's unique. I don't know that if I ever get to stitch this, whether I'll do that though. I may just stitch it as one. So I got Strawberry Fields Forever. I think I've got all the Beatles patterns now. Maybe, I don't think I have Yellow Submarine. I think I'm missing that one. I know I have the Eleanor Rigby. I may not have the Octopus Garden either. This one's my favorite though. I like the Strawberry Fields Forever. I love the Beatles. I'm a big Beatles fan. I've been trying to teach my sons about old music. Much better than today's music. I also got the new one, Mother's Garden. I don't know if this is a re-release or just a new one. I really like that one. She has, I believe I heard someone say there are 12 places for initials so that you can personalize it. I have 6 aunts. My dad, my poor dad, has 5 sisters. Well, had would be correct. One of my aunts has passed. So I got half of them covered right there. Then of course my mom, my grandmother's. So I'm pretty sure I could fill it up. My daughter. This is When the Leaves Fall. I really like the main one. I always like the biggest patterns. I need to stitch more smalls. That way maybe I'll finish stuff. Oh, this is really cute. Look at that one. This is The Winds of Autumn. I like that one right there. And then also purchased Sewing Club. I love these books because it's a good deal. I think they're like $20, $25, and like this one has 16 projects in it. So it's a good deal you get all these projects. And oh, my husband just got home. So I think this is the perfect place to wrap it up because this was my last new thing that I was going to show you guys. So thank you guys for spending the afternoon with me. If you have any questions, I'm always so happy to read everyone's comments. I always try to answer when whenever possible. So if you enjoyed the video, thumbs up, like and subscribe, all the things, and I will see you guys in a month. Bye bye.